Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a neat topic, that is structural organization in animals. So the notes that you see on the screen are from NCERT. You can follow me easily by making sure that you have your NCERT class 11 textbook with you. So I'm in page number 100, but still you can see the same textbook on the screen so that it's easy for you. So my advice for NEET aspirants would be like, make sure you understand each and every line in your NCERT book, and then you should be good to go. So mainly today we are going to talk about tissues, okay? In the previous chapters, you have come across a large variety of organisms, both unicellular and multicellular, of the animal kingdom. In unicellular organisms, all functions like digestion, respiration, reproduction are performed by a single cell. So what happens in unicellular organism is, there is, by the name itself, uni means single. So one cell does all the functions. Let it be digestion, let it be respiration, let it be reproduction. So simple example is, for example, if this is an unicellular organism, the entry and the exit is the same for it. But humans are multicellular organisms, right? Because we eat with the help of mouth. So we take in food from the mouth, and the process of taking out the waste material from the body in the form of solid waste is called as egestion, okay? And that is having a separate entry. So our digestion goes all the way from the mouth to stomach to small intestine to large intestine, and it completely comes out. In case you have missed the human digestion topic, you can always check it in my channel where I have made a topic called digestion for NEET. Okay, so let's get back over here. So what do we understand by unicellular? So one cell does pretty much all the functions. In the complex body of multicellular animals, the same basic functions are carried out by different groups of cells in well-organized manner. The body of a simple organism like Hydra is made up of different types of cells, and number of cells can be in thousands. So let me tell you something. Cells make up tissues, and tissues give organs, and we have organ systems, right? So we have digestive system, circulatory system, nervous system, and so on. So when two or more organs perform a common function by their physical or chemical interaction, they together form organ system. Like I told you, respiratory system, digestive system. Okay. Now here, a neat question is the definition of the tissue. So here, according to NCERT, we have in multicellular organisms, a group of similar cells along with intercellular substances. Intercellular substances. So what does intercellular means? In between cells is what intercellular means. Okay, and intracellular means within the cell. All right. So you might get a question like, in multicellular organisms, a group of similar cells along with intracellular substances perform a specific function. That statement is false, because a group of similar cells along with only intercellular substances is called as tissue. Okay. So now coming to animal tissue. The structure of cells vary according to their function. Therefore, the tissues are different and broadly classified into four types. Four types of tissues are there, that is epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and neural tissue. And in today's topic, we are going to cover epithelial tissue. So coming to epithelial tissue, we commonly refer to an epithelial tissue as epithelium. The tissue has a free surface which faces either a body fluid or outside environment. So don't get confused, it's very easy. Here we have a picture So this is epithelium, okay? So suppose think about epithelium lining your stomach. We all know that stomach looks something like this. So we have epithelium over here, okay? So let us look at this side of epithelium and the other side of the epithelium. So this side of epithelium is lying inside, right? It is inside the organ, whereas this side of the epithelium is exposed to the environment. Okay, now let's get back to this line over here. So what I would suggest is whenever you have a sentence that you feel it's complicated, just make a diagram. Okay, so what are they saying? The tissue has a free surface which faces either a body fluid. So it can face the body fluid or it can face the outside faces the environment. Therefore, it provides a covering or lining for some part of the body. The cells are compactly packed with very little intercellular matrix. So there is very little intercellular matrix. They are compactly packed. Okay. Now, there are two types of epithelium, mainly simple epithelium and compound epithelium. So we have two types, that is simple and we have compound epithelium. Simple epithelium is composed of a single layer of cells. So we have only one layer. That's when it is called simple, and functions as lining of body cavities, ducts and tubes. So where do you see that? So where is it located? Okay. It is located as lining for body cavities and on ducts and tubes. The compound epithelium has one or two layers, all right, and it has protective function as does in our skin. So where is compound epithelium located? In the skin, okay. And now the simple epithelium is further divided into three types. It is squamous epithelium, then we have cuboidal epithelium, then we have columnar epithelium. By the name itself, you can guess squamous means square-shaped, cuboidal means it will be cube-shaped, and columnar will be like columns. It can have cilia, and if it has cilia, a variation of columnar epithelium is also called a ciliated columnar epithelium. So let us have a review, okay? So epithelial tissue can have one surface that is, covering the organ and other surface exposed to the environment. And epithelial cells are very much compactly packed with very little intercellular matrix, okay? And epithelium is of two types, that is simple epithelium and compound epithelium. And simple epithelium is further divided into squamous, cuboidal and columnar. And where is simple epithelium located? It is located in the body cavities, ducts and tubes. Whereas compound epithelium is located on the skin. Now here you can see this is flattened cell, this is squamous epithelium, this is, so let me just name this. So this is simple epithelium, okay? So here you can see squamous epithelium, here you can see cuboidal epithelium, here you can see columnar epithelium. And here you can see cilia, hair-like structures on the columnar epithelium. It is also called a ciliated columnar epithelium. Now, the squamous epithelium is made up of a single thin layer of flattened cells with irregular boundaries. So it is made up of flattened cells, all right, and its boundaries are irregular. Now, they are found in the blood vessels and air sacs of lungs and are involved in functions like forming a diffusion boundary. So where are they located? They are located in the blood vessels and air sacs of lungs. Now, let me tell you something interesting. Squamous epithelium is also called as pavement epithelium. Okay, so what is this pavement epithelium? Pavement epithelium, pavement, like basically squamous epithelium appears like tiles on the floor. So that's why its other name is pavement epithelium. It's a neat question. Okay. It's not there in the NCERT, but then yeah, there are chances that you might be asked. The cuboidal epithelium is composed of a single layer of cube-like cells, and this is commonly found in ducts of glands and tubular parts of nephrons and kidney. Okay, so where is cuboidal epithelium now? So cuboidal epithelium is found in ducts of glands and tubular parts of nephron. We all know what is nephron. Nephron is structural and functional unit of excretory system. Okay, and its main function is secretion and absorption. Okay, now the epithelium of proximal convoluted tubule of the nephron has microvilli. Columnar epithelium is nothing but it looks like column. It has tall and slender cells. Their nuclei is located at the base, and the free surface might have microvilli. They are seen in stomach as well as in the intestine, and their main function is secretion and absorption. Okay, so if the columnar cells have cilia, then they are called as ciliated epithelium. So a variation of columnar epithelium is ciliated epithelium if they have hair-like structures. Okay, and the main function of this cilia is to move particles or mucus in a specific direction over epithelium. So main function is it will help in moving of particles in a specific direction. And they are seen in inner surface of hollow organs like bronchioles and fallopian tubes. So where are they seen? They are seen in bronchioles and fallopian tubes. Now, other name for cuboidal epithelium is also called as germinal epithelium because it surrounds gonads. All right. So let's have a review again. There are three types of epithelium. One is squamous epithelium, another one is cuboidal epithelium, and third one is columnar epithelium. In squamous epithelium, the other name for squamous epithelium is pavement epithelium. It can be seen in blood vessels and sacs of lungs. Cuboidal epithelium is cuboidal in shape. It can be seen in ducts of glands and tubular parts of nephron, and its main function is secretion and absorption. The function of cuboidal epithelium and the columnar epithelium is pretty much the same. The function is secretion and absorption. Okay. Now coming to columnar epithelium, they are tall cells, okay, and they have their nucleus at the base. If they have cilia, it is called a ciliated columnar epithelium. And you can see ciliated columnar epithelium in bronchioles and fallopian tubes. Now, some of the columnar epithelium or cuboidal cells get a specialized, they become specialized for secretion, and they're called glandular epithelium. So some of the columnar or cuboidal cells, they get specialized for secretion. Their main function will be secretion, and they are called as glandular epithelium. Here you can see unicellular gland. You can see only a single variety of cells, whereas here you can see different types of cells. So it is called multicellular glands. Okay. So again, now these glandular epithelium is of two types. Okay. One is unicellular and another one is multicellular. Examples of unicellular glandular epithelium cells is goblet cells in the alimentary canal. Okay, goblet cells in alimentary canal, and you can also see it in salivary glands. Is multicellular. Okay, so now let us have a review till here. So some of the columnar cells and cuboidal cells, they mainly get specialized for secretion, and they are called as glandular epithelium. And they are again of two types. They are that is unicellular glandular epithelium and multicellular glandular epithelium. Unicellular glandular epithelium can be seen in the goblet cells of the alimentary canal, whereas multicellular epithelium can be seen in the salivary glands. All right. Now, on the basis of how, like suppose this is a gland, this is a salivary gland, it has saliva. Now, how it is pouring out its secretions, these glands are divided into two types, exocrine glands and endocrine glands. Okay, so let me make it clear for you guys how the glands secrete. Based on that, they are divided into exocrine and endocrine. Examples of exocrine glands, what they secrete is mucus, saliva, earwax, oil, milk, digestive system, and all the cell products. Okay, it can be mucus, it can be earwax, it can be milk. Whereas endocrine glands are also called as ductless glands because they do not have ducts. They give products, they are called as hormones, where they directly go into the gland. Okay, so let me repeat it. On the basis of how the glands secrete their substance, it is divided into exocrine glands and endocrine glands. Example of what the exocrine glands secrete is mucus, earwax, and milk, whereas endocrine glands give hormones, and they're also called as ductless glands. So let me give you an interesting example about hormone. An example of hormone is adrenaline. Okay, so how does this adrenaline hormone works? So what happens is, suppose you see a snake, okay, and maybe this is you. So what would you do? Would you smile at it or would you be scared of it? Whatever it is, you'll first run from it, right? Either you will run, or if you're brave enough, you will fight back. So there are only two responses that you're going to do. You're going to run or you're going to fight. So that response is called as fight or flight response. And this response is happening because of the hormone adrenaline. And another example of hormone is melatonin. Suppose you have your NEET exam coming up very soon. You would not be getting sleep at all, right? That might be because the level of melatonin is less in your body. So when this hormone is the hormone that maintains our normal sleep cycle, so if this hormone is less in our body, we would lack sleep for sure. Similarly, when you come from, you take a flight, you take a long flight, and maybe if you're coming from other countries and when there is a time difference, it's mainly because your melatonin will have an effect because your melatonin hormone will be in less quantity. So that's why many people take melatonin supplements so that they can correct their sleep cycle. All right, now coming to compound epithelium. So we have studied about simple epithelium, where we have studied that squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, and columnar epithelium are the types of simple epithelium. Now, what is compound epithelium is, it is made up of more than one layer. So compound epithelium is nothing but it is multi-layered, and it has very limited role in secretion and absorption, and its main function is to protect against chemical and mechanical stresses. Chemical and mechanical stress. So suppose think you eat something harmful. That can actually, maybe that might be so harmful that it might just destroy your stomach. But what does this compound epithelium do is it will help you protect against the chemical and mechanical stress. Okay, they cover the dry surface of the mouth, of the skin, the moist surface of buccal cavity, pharynx, inner lining of the ducts of salivary glands, and pancreatic ducts. So you can see it on the dry surface of your skin, you can see it in the buccal cavity, you can see it in the pharynx, and you can also see it in the pancreatic ducts. Now, all the cells in the epithelium are held together with intercellular material, which is in less quantity. In nearly all animal tissues, specialized junctions provide both structural and functional links between individual cells. There are three types of cell junctions. Okay, you have three types of cell junctions. You have something called as tight junctions, you have something called as adhering junctions, and you have something called as gap junctions. All right. So tight junctions help to stop substances from leaking across the tissues. So you suppose imagine this is a pipe. Okay. If you don't want something to get out of this pipe, you'll make sure that you seal it properly. When you seal it, nothing will come out. That is because of tight junctions. So tight junctions help to stop the substances from leaking. Whereas adhering is nothing but attachment. Okay, it is mainly like a cement. So adhering junctions perform cementing to keep the neighboring cells together. So why do we use cement if suppose think these are bricks? Okay, why do you use the cement? So that they both stick to each other. Adhering junctions perform the same function. They make sure that the neighboring cells are stuck together. Okay, now we have gap junctions. What do the gap junctions do? Gap junctions facilitate the cells to communicate with each other. So this cell will communicate to this cell by connecting the cytoplasm of adjoining cells. So this is the cytoplasm. By connecting the cytoplasm of adjoining cells for, let it be, quick transfer of ions. So suppose if this ion has to come to this ion, there might be different interactions, right? So gap junction is similarly like how, for example, you exchange pen or something with your friend, but now as it's COVID times, you might exchange it through the wall. Suppose think that your friend is here and you are here. Maybe you want to exchange a pen or something. So you have a pen, what would you do? You would give it through this wall, right? So gap junction is something like this wall where it facilitates the cells to communicate with each other by connecting the cytoplasm of adjoining cells. So it can be for transfer of ions or small molecules or big molecules. All right. So I hope you have a clear understanding. We can have a very quick review so that you are for sure you have understood everything. Okay. So unicellular organism means where one cell does all the functions. Multicellular organisms means we have different cells which do a specific function. Cells combine and form tissues, tissues form organs, and organs form organ system. Main definition according to the NCERT of tissues is a group of similar cells along with the intercellular substances do a specific function. That is called as tissue. Okay. Now, animal tissues are mainly of four types: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and neural tissue. Now coming to the epithelial tissue, the surface of the epithelial tissue, one side is towards the organ and other side is towards the outer environment. And they have very little intercellular matrix, okay, because they are very much compactly packed. All right. Now, epithelium is of two types. We have simple epithelium and compound epithelium. Main function of simple epithelium is secretion and absorption, whereas the main function of the compound epithelium is protection against chemical barriers and different things. So compound epithelium's main function is protection. Simple epithelium is again divided into squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, and columnar epithelium. A variant of columnar epithelium is called as ciliated columnar epithelium. And we'll learn about each right now. So you can see the simple epithelium over here, cuboidal epithelium over here, and the columnar epithelium over here. And a variation of columnar epithelium where you see cilia, a hair-like structures, is ciliated columnar epithelium. Now coming to the squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium is also called as pavement epithelium because it's arranged like tiles on the floors. Where can you see it? And you can see it in blood vessels and sacs of the lungs. Whereas cuboidal epithelium, you can see it in ducts of glands and tubular parts of nephrons. Both the cuboidal epithelium and the columnar epithelium main function is secretion and absorption. Okay, cuboidal epithelium, the main function is secretion and absorption. Similarly, columnar's function is also the same. Cuboidal epithelium is also called as germinal epithelium because that epithelium surrounds the gonads. All right, now we have columnar epithelium. We can see that in stomach and intestine, and if it has hair-like structure, it is called ciliated columnar epithelium. The main function of the cilia is basically to make sure that some substance moves in a particular direction. Now we have columnar of cuboidal cells undergo a change, like they get specialized mainly for secretion, and they're called as glandular epithelium. So it can be unicellular glandular epithelium or multicellular glandular epithelium. Unicellular glandular epithelium can be seen in goblet cells of alimentary canal, whereas multicellular glandular epithelium can be seen in the salivary glands. Okay. And based on how the glands secrete, they are divided into exocrine glands and endocrine glands. And we have three types of cell junctions. We have tight, adhering, and gap junctions. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.